Everything I see, it's all steeped in arcade culture. Booths are set up for all the major arcade companies, each table vying for the attention of the crowd. Some have spaces set up with stages, flashing lights, and people throwing t-shirts into lines of people. Can we talk about these lines for a second though? There are lines for everything. Lines to play games, lines to go see a panel, lines to eat disgusting convention food, lines for the bathroom. There are even lines to get into other lines. And they all just wait there, standing, happily chittering amongst themselves. I have trouble waiting in line for 10 minutes at the whole store for a coffee, let alone waiting in line for 3 hours just to play a game that'll be released in 4 months. These people aren't even human anymore. Their perseverance is godlike. The sensory output here is overwhelming. People are shouting and laughing as they crowd areas. Music pumps out of several different booths, making it a weird mashup of notes and chiptunes. There's even a giant dinosaur that people can take selfies with. As I contemplate how I'm going to attract all these people to Funpalooza, I hear sounds of very loud and very upbeat music from behind me. I feel the thumping of the bass reverberate through my shoes and I turn around. I figured it was Teo. Hark! Teo sits on a colossal boombox at his feet. I recognize the music now. It's from Showtime Stage, and Teo is bumping his signature song. I motion for him to turn down the music, and he complies. The last thing I need to do is lose my voice from shouting before I even get a chance to talk to anybody. Hey! Sorry I'm late. I had some last-minute dance moves I had to incorporate into the routine. No worries, I just got here myself. Despite Max's many attempts to trample me, I have survived thus far. Yeah, looks like you're significantly non-trampled. Nicely done. Don't congratulate me yet, we still have the rest of the days to endure. What's with the boombox, by the way? Oh, this? It's for the Showtime Stage gathering. There are going to be a couple hundred of us from all over the world. I didn't realize that there's Showtime Stage communities in other countries.
Absolutely.
We're actually the second biggest community. The largest is in Japan. Several players flew all the way from Tokyo just to be part of our Showtime Stage Flash Mob. Is this really the best place for a Slash Mob? What? Yes, I want to join in. How did you even arrange this? I'm like, I would love to be part of a Flash Mob. Yes. What? Yes, I want to join in. I admit I probably spent too much time watching videos of Flash Mobs doing random stuff for upvotes, but they look like so much fun. And to take everyone by surprise like that, I want to see the look on their faces. I want in. Hark, it might be a little too late for that. I've been planning this for months, and it's taken coordination from all the leaders of all the Showtime groups. There was a lot of work from all sides to make this come together. Now all that's left is to actually do it. In fact, Hark, you should come watch it. I was about to respond when a very elegantly dressed gentleman caught my eye. He wore a black proper tail coat with an ornate sigil pinned to his breast. Accompanying his suit, he had fashioned himself with white regal gloves. With a cloth draped over his arm, he held tightly onto an antique tea kettle. As he approached, the crowd parted like waves from Moses. There were oohs and ahs from onlookers, and people pulled out their phones to get a quick picture of him. Like the rest of the crowd, I was taken aback at how immaculate this butler was. Absolute perfection. I felt like I had time warped back to the 1800s and about to have tea with royalty. He stepped up to me and Teo and gave us a slight bow. Normally this would be ridiculously out of place, but not at an arcade convention. He's a character from a hot fighting game called Melee Maidens. It's all about ninja maids and battle butlers duking it out for a right to serve a fancy party or something. That's a pretty interesting premise for a game. Oh my, I think I'm in love. Tea, Earl Grey, hot. Something's familiar about this butler. Yeah, isn't that Ashley? I feel like that's Ashley. Tea, Earl Grey, hot. Something's familiar about this butler. I can't quite put my finger on it, but he really looks familiar. Maybe I've seen him at the Funplex before. It's totally Ashley. I always feel so bad when I can't remember people I've met prior. She's always talking about how much she loves to cosplay. Excuse me, have we met? Hark, it's me. Huh? How does Mystery Butler know my name? Do I have to stalk her, who is also a butler? What if, oh my gosh, my other self is so slow. So slow. We work together. Huh. Did Francine hire someone and not tell me about it? How long have Gavin, Naomi, and... Ashley? Took you long enough, jeez. I know, seriously. Come on, Art, get with the program. I immediately looked at the person and I'm like, is that really a guy? Because my immediate thought was, that's a girl with a mustache. It could also be, it could also be a guy. Definitely could be a guy too, but my immediate thought was like, looks more like a girl. Physical silhouette-wise. The confused look on your face, ha! Priceless. Have you never seen Ashley's crossplay before? Possibly not. What's crossplay? Oh my goodness, my poor other self, virtual self. Crossplay is when you cross genders in your cosplay. It's when you cosplay as another gender. Thank you. Oh, my other self is so slow. Oh, okay, Ashley, seriously, you look completely different. I didn't even recognize you. I totally did, like 100%. I'm sorry I let you think otherwise for a minute, but it was all in good fun. No worries, it's pretty impressive work. Oh, it's not impressive at all. I mean, I could have done a much better job at sewing the coattails, and I need to be like 5 inches taller, and I didn't go to the gym enough before this. You can't change any of that now, and honestly, it looks fine. Regardless, the cosplay parade is starting soon, and I need to get over there. You should come with me. Hey now, Hark was going to go with me to the Showtime stage gathering. Well, whatever Hark wants to do, it's his choice. That's fair. Either way, it'd be a good opportunity to promote Funpalooza to one crowd or another. So, would you like to come with me to the cosplay parade? Or join me in the flash mob? I'm sorry, Ashley. You're cool and all, but I gotta go with Teo. Ashley's cute and all. Teo's more of an eye candy, and that's what I'm following. Go with Teo to the flash mob.
Hell yeah!
Yes, let's go. Teo led the way as we navigated around clusters in the crowd, his boombox carried at his side. There was ziggying and zagging through hallways, people, and booths. Every step I took, I was more bewildered with the whole event, and the more I felt very, very small an entire ocean of arcade fans. How was I supposed to inform all these people about Funpalooza? There is literally no way to get the word out to thousands of gamers. It was going to take a gaming miracle, or at least not a complete and utter failure. Heck, I'd even settle for not getting trampled and having maybe like 10 people show up. Set your expectations low, so when something happens, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Another family motto. That's sort of like a motto that's in Spider-Man No Way Home, which, if you are at all a Spider-Man in any capacity, you should watch if you haven't yet. But that's not what I'm about anymore. I'm trying to break the mold, right? And here we are, my friend. When our race through the maze ended, we were standing in an atrium of sorts. Glass ceilings and walls covered half of the space, letting in a ton of natural light. It was a welcome shock to the system. Working in the arcade business, you rarely have access to windows, and the convention center for Max was no different. It's all simple psychology, really. No windows equals no sense of time for people, meaning they spend way more time and money in the arcade because they lose track of it all. That makes perfect 100% sense. At least that's what Gavin taught me. And I'm pretty sure he knows his science on arcades and the people in them. The atrium is pretty secluded from the rest of the convention. It's quieter than all the hustle and bustle of the main hall. The people are more dispersed here, since this location also holds a food court. People are slurping down fruit, smoothies, and munching on fries while enjoying a break from the craziness that is Max. Don't get me wrong, there are still games out there, just significantly less. And all the games here are dancing games. There are a few stages set up around the space, and people are dancing to their heart's content. I see classics like DDR and ITG. I actually don't know that one, with Showtime Stage highlighted in the center.
Hey, pretty great spot, isn't it?
Yeah, I can see why you chose this place. It's Dance Central! Well, not Dance Central by Harmonix, just, Dance Central. And I think it's the only place big enough for your flash mob.
Hey, keep it
quiet. Come on! I just want to strangle my other self. Come on, get with it, Hark.
Flash mobs are supposed to be all secret and stuff until it all goes down.
Exactly. My lips are mum from here on out. Sealed, I mean.
Good. I can't have you ruining the surprise.
Exactly. Come on, Hark.
But
get with the
in all
program.
Seriousness, I really appreciate you being here. It means a lot to me.
Of course.
Cheering me on and just being your amazing self.
I'm so happy for you to hear you say that.
I'm honored to call you my friend.
I'm honored to call you friend too. Hey, that's what friends are for. I got your back. Speaking of being friends, you want to help me get the word out about Funpalooza? I was hoping you'd volunteer.
For you? I got you. But it'll have to wait until after the flash mob. We should be starting any minute now.
Okay, I'm just waiting for my leads to show up. While I stand next to Teo, I note several familiar faces from the Funplex. It looks like most of the Showtime stage regulars showed up to support Teo. Most of them are chatting amongst themselves, some playing the various dancing games, all others are waiting for Teo's signal. Speaking of the Dancing King himself, Teo looks like a sheepdog that's lost his herd. He's watching the crowds frantically for his friends, and he's mumbling to himself under his breath. He normally has such a calm and collected air about him. This is completely unlike him. Teo, what's up?
Well,
Oh, you know, just worrying about everything collapsing from underneath me. This whole thing won't work unless I have all the group leaders. And right now it's just me and my sister. Sister? You've never mentioned you had a sister before. Well, you don't really talk about family much, so I felt it would be impolite to bring it up. Touché. Your sister is one of the dance leaders?
absolutely.
Oh yeah, honestly, she's probably a better dancer than I am. She taught me everything I know about dancing, from the chassé to the moonwalk. When I was a kid, I would watch her dance recitals and be in complete awe. Every turn, step, and movement done with absolute elegance. I can't even come close to comparing to my sister. I'm awful. Hold up, just a minuet. Minuet? Teo rolls his eyes and lets out an exasperated sigh at my cool dancing pun. You're way more talented than all the others that dance at the Funplex. That's why they chose you as their leader. They look up to you so much for more than teaching new dogs old tricks. You're kind, Hark, but what you don't understand is that Showtime stage is completely different than traditional dance. Yeah, 100%. You lost me. Like, we were walking along the same point there, but then I spotted a candy store and ran off. That's how lost I am. With Showtime stage, you're forced to move within a finite box, can't glide across the dance floor, or jump as high as you want in a grand jeté. While it looks very similar, it's restrictive. 100% totally agree. Super restrictive. Dance is all about freedom of expression, and you don't have that much in Showtime stage. While I'm not the best dancer, I'm good at one thing. What's that? Games.
Exactly.
Games with dancing elements in them, to be exact. Funny enough, my sister doesn't even play dancing games. She's terrible at them, in fact, because they're so different. They're so different than traditional dancing. But she's helped me figure out a whole flash mob out, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to be mortified. How bad will it look if 300 people are all prancing around out of sync? It's sort of like the difference between gymnasts and parkour, people who do parkour. I saw this really interesting YouTube video where they took a bunch of really talented parkour people and they basically came into a gymnastics studio, and the gymnasts, taught them how to do several, things around several things that they typically do, like the balance beam or the balance bar, the balance beam and then the bars and all these other things, and just taught them like how to do them. And it's really interesting to hear things from both of their perspectives, especially from the parkours, because they're like, there's a lot of the same principles that are in parkour that the gymnasts use, but it's still different. And yeah, they were able to actually apply many of the things that they know from parkour with gymnastics, but it's still different. So that's sort of how I'm seeing, a dancer, a traditionally trained dancer, and then versus somebody who is really good at dancing games. So, that's interesting. Teo holds his hands up to his face in horror, much like the Scream painting. When I look at his hands, you can see them shaking. He's doing his best to keep together, but if I don't find a way to calm him down, he's going to break. Hug Teo. Start dancing. Talk him down. I'll hug him. I'm gonna hug him. I'm very secure about myself. And I mean, his bare arms look so huggable. His bare muscular arms look very huggable. Nothing makes me feel more at ease than a hug. Just being comforted is enough to make all my worries melt away. Maybe that's all Teo needs. Do you need a hug? Can I give you a hug? Yes, please. I thought you'd never ask. I open my arms and give Teo a friendly hug. I can feel his whole body relax, and he lets out a big, long sigh. If this is all it takes, I should be worried more often to get more of these Hark hugs. Thank you! People have said that I do give good hugs. I wouldn't know, because I've never been on the receiving end of one, but that's very nice. Teo looks way more relaxed now. He's laughing and smiling like he normally does.
Thank you.
Thanks, I'm so ready for this now. Oh, Hark, can you excuse me for a minute? I see my peeps. I nod and he dashes off towards a group of people. They're all huddled together, and when Teo approaches, they all give him hugs and high fives. Everyone is in great spirits as they're getting ready for the big moment. Teo grabs his boombox from where he left it earlier and makes his way up to the main stage. As soon as his foot touches the platform, the Funplex crew who had commandeered Showtime Stage quickly springs to action. One of them runs behind the Showtime Stage cabinet and unplugs it from the wall. The bouncy Euro pop that was playing is replaced with dead silence. A collective gasp comes from the atrium. The other crew members pulls out a microphone from a nearby pack and hands it to Teo. He plugs the cord into the back of his boombox and brings it in close to his mouth. Max, are you ready for me to rock your body? There are cheers from the crowd, and all the dancers are ready to get on with the flash mob. The delight of the crowd is feeding Teo's energy, and he's gulping it up. Don't turn away, not even for a second. He knows how to work a crowd. Teo looks directly at me and winks. Watch me now. That's a pretty cool pose. Teo begins with a snap, and everyone falls into place. As Teo moves his body, everyone in the audience starts to mimic him. Slowly, more people join in, group of people after group of people. Soon the entire room is dancing, moving together like a school of fish. But way more upbeat, and not getting eaten by sharks. When the music pumps into the atrium and everyone is feeling it. Teo leads the flash mob from the stage, and he's putting his entire spirit in. He's smiling from ear to ear as he hits every beat with utter precision. The con-goers who aren't participating in the flash mob have pulled out their phones and are recording the whole thing. Gamers are exchanging gossip and taking pictures. I'm sure I'll be reading all about this all over the social media. Actually, I should probably post something about this on our face wall. I pull out my phone like everyone else and snaps a few pics and video clips. The flash mob itself didn't last more than a few minutes. And in a dramatic end, Teo jumps off the stage and into the crowd. The people immediately part for Teo as he strolls deeper into the middle of the masses. The same Funplex crew members that helped earlier are following Teo with his boombox. Once Teo makes it to the center of the crowd, he motions for his friends to put it down. Once again, he brings the mic up. Well, did you like it? And once again, cheers erupt from the throng of dancers. Teo claps along with all the bystanders.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Max, you are too sweet. Impressive. You know, I couldn't have done this whole thing without the help of my friend Hark. More clapping and shouting. Only this time it's for me. He gave me encouragement when I needed it most. Hark, why don't you come here for a minute? Oh, that's so sweet of him. Me? I point to myself. No, the other Hark standing behind you. Get your buns over here. Yeah, Hark, get your buns over there. I feel a couple of people lightly push me towards Teo. I hesitantly made my way over to him. Is this seriously what I'm wearing? Is this do I not have another outfit? Seriously, we need to fix this. We need to fix this. Other Hark. Hesitantly, I made my way over to him. It was weird to be surrounded by that many people, but being next to Teo made me feel comfortable about the whole situation. It's good to have backup. Everyone, give it up for Hark. Many people cheer for me. Like, from a practical sense, I 100% understand. Because that body can be applied to both male and female bodies. Because, you know, your character could be male or female or neither or both or, you know, whatever you identify as. And I get it. Like, this outfit can pretty much encompass all of it. But it's still, it's still cringy to me. But it's okay. More people, happy people cheer for me. Now I really want you all to listen to him. Like, really listen. It's an important announcement. Teo hands me the mic and leans into next to me, whispering in my ear. You wanted to help. Wow. Whew. Teo's whispering in my ear. Whew. You wanted help with Funpalooza, right? Well, you've got the floor. Go ahead and tell everyone about it. Looking at the masses, my chest... You're good. You're good. Ooh, so good that I just almost broke my printer. Looking out at the masses, my chest felt tight and I could feel a bead of sweat run down my back. Teo smiled at me earnestly, waiting for me to speak to everyone. This was it, wasn't it? This is what I've been asking for, to go out and do something for myself. I couldn't back down now. I had to do this for myself. I was going to prove to myself that I am not a duplication of my family. I can break the mold. Huh? I took a deep breath and mustered every ounce of confidence I could find hiding within. I took the mic in my hand, blinked once, and began to speak. How's everyone enjoying their Max? A good amount of wooing and cheering came from those around me. Step 1, always get the audience on your side. What about that flash mob though? Fantastic, right? I know you're all having such a great time, and why let it end after today? Next weekend, Francine's Arcade Funplex at the Twin Pines Mall is going to be putting on a special event, and it's going to be one heck of a time. It's called Funpalooza, and we need your help to make it as good, if not better, than Max. Teo leans in to play the part of my co-MC. Sure. You had me at special event, tell me more. The Funplex is a growing and humble arcade, but packed with the best games around and the best gamers around. It's our first big event, and we need your help to make it rock. We're having a Fist of Discomfort tournament, an exhibition in the event to break the world record high score of Moopy's Magical Maze, high score competitions on every game in the arcade all day long, and we'll be revealing a brand new mystery game, a rarity you won't believe. But that's not all, right, Hark? Nope. Showtime Stage is a huge part of the Funplex, and we owe Teo our thanks to that. As you know, he's cultivated this community to what it is today, and to celebrate that, we want to offer the exclusive event to all of you dancers out there. This special dancing event at Funpalooza will be, drumroll please. Teo starts slapping his hands on his thighs to imitate a drum. A Showtime Stage tournament. Free play for the entire event. A live DJ. Oh! Interesting. A live DJ. Would be cool. Free play for the entire event. Gavin wouldn't want that. Showtime Stage tournament seems like a really cool idea. I say we go for a tournament. A Showtime Stage tournament. We just can't have one tournament at Funpalooza. I know how competitive those dancers get. We can do an official side tournament and have a cash prize with all the buy-in money. Gavin probably won't mind. It's perfect. We can't let all those fighting gamers get all the fun tournaments, can we? At Funpalooza, we're going to have our very own Showtime Stage tournament with prizes. Another roar from Ever in the Natrium. It's so loud that I swear the windows shook. Fantastic. Everything you said sounds just amazing. I know I'll be there. Wonderful, and I hope to see all your faces out there next weekend. Teo's a really great partner in crime when it comes to marketing people. He's awesome. He's cool. I point to as many people around me as I can. There were several more shouts, and then naturally the crowd started to disperse. Even though Teo's not physically my type, his personality is very charming. He just draws you in. So, I don't know, if I may flirt with him too. I may. He's very, very enticing. As Teo and I were cleaning up after the flash mob, my phone in my pocket started going off. At first, it was just a couple of vibrations, and before I could realize what was happening, my phone started seizing. What the? I pulled my phone from my pocket, and when I looked at it, the Funplex's face wall had over 1,000 likes. No, really, what? The heck? Beep, beep, can I interrupt? I might have borrowed the pictures and video clips you snapped earlier and applied the proper hashtags and links to the Funplex's social media accounts.
Good work.
Since the content went live, activity on the Funplex's face wall has increased 700%. The buzz about Funpalooza is off the scale. Note to self, event a new scale. I quickly scanned my own face wall, and even people I knew who weren't arcaders were talking up a storm about it. I also heard people around me discussing it. I can't wait till next weekend. That Funpalooza thing sounds like a blast. I'm totally going to that Funplex place. What's this mystery game they mentioned? It was great to hear all the buzz around the atrium, and Iris really helped with the social media aspect. In your face, Gavin! I can't believe it was that easy. Sometimes that's all it takes. It was great fun, but I'm totally exhausted. Me too. But you didn't dance. Hey, I faced my fears in front of several hundred people. If that's not exhausting, then I don't know what is. Plus, I'm hungry. You could always go over to one of the food vendors and pay $12 for overly salted french fries. Well, there goes my appetite. You know, Gavin and Naomi are running a pop-up arcade for the Funplex, along with other local arcades in Hall B. You could always pop there for a breather with some friends. How about I meet you there later? I need to debrief with the other leaders first. Sounds good. Be seeing you. I wave bye to Teo as I make my way towards Exhibit Hall B, on the lookout for Gavin's serious face or Naomi's kind one. Cool, so I guess we're just hanging out with Gavin and Naomi again? Let's see, Exhibit Hall B. It very much resembles Exhibit Hall A, where I started my day. Industry types, dealers, swags, crowds. But there's definitely more actual arcade games here, as local places have set up pop-up arcades all over the place. It's hard to notice the small displays with the giant garish deco palace display eating up the center, but I managed to crawl my way around the edges to find... Oh, all these people. Well, now pretty much everyone else in the crew, save for Francine. Okay, so this is, I like how this is set up, because in the last level, we were forced, railroaded, which is perfectly fine, to hang out with both Gavin and Naomi in the second half. But in the first half, we were able to spend time with any of the other four. So in this one, we were railroaded to hang out with either Ashley or Teo, but in the second half, we probably can choose any of the remaining four, which is really cool. I'm curious how we're doing with Teo. Whoa, Teo, wow, I'm up there with Percy. Teo's up there with Percy. Interesting. Well, now pretty much everyone else in the crew, save is Francine. Speaking of save, because we're in the halfway point, this is a good place for me to save, because we're in the halfway point. Well, now pretty much everyone else in the crew, save for Francine, Teo and Ashley are still off hanging out with their respective communities. I've got some time. Maybe I can bend someone's ear meanwhile. Let's see what everybody's doing right now. Gavin's reading the news, bored out of his mind. Naomi's fixing up a busted Galaga. She could use a break. Percy's idly playing a round of Nibbler. Queen Bee is between matches in a tournament. So my guess is in the next level we're just automatically going to be forced to hang out with Queen Bee or Percy, which I have zero qualms about. It's obvious which one I'm going to be hanging out with. Percy's idly playing a round of Nibbler. Hey there, handsome! Percy's poking his way around the mazes of Nibbler, but without the gusto he normally reserves for Moopy. Hey, Percy!
Hello.
Good to see you, Hark. So, how goes your day? Any way I can help? Well, now that you mention it... Actually, right now I'm thinking of taking a break from being the Funpalooza hypes person. You want to talk or something? I mean, if you're not busy. Oh, I don't chase Nibbler scores. The fellow who holds this record deserves to hold it for some time to come. I'm just goofing off, I suppose. Right, shall we depart? The two of us find a semi-quiet spot between two display booths to take a breather from all the digital hustle and bustle of the arcade scene. Anyways, Nibbler's no Moopy. It lacks the depth of a good Moopy run, in my humble opinion. So aside from Nibblering, how's Max treating you? Can't complain. Some good retro games on display, a few rares, a few imports. I'm always happy with the diversity of titles available here. I've come to Max every year since Stella passed away, I suppose. Since I inherited her love of arcade games. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to drag that up again. No need to apologize. The fact remains that Max is quite a spectacle, yes? And I do so love the games here, just like Naomi. Honestly, I was thinking of trying to buy one from its owner. Buy it and donate it to the Funplex. I have no room in my tiny little flat for a game, but if I can give it a good home, why not? That way, Gavin can't complain, yes? At worst, it's taking up a slot on the floor and some wattage per month. Everybody walks away happy? Money well spent, eh? Okay, now, a lot of little bits of Percy's backstory that just aren't fitting together. What's the best way to phrase this? You don't need to spend your hard-earned cash on us. We're happy just having you around at the Funplex. I'm happy just having you around at the Funplex. If you can toss around the green like that, why live in a tiny little flat? How do you earn all that money anyway? You mentioned day trading, but yeah, I don't want to get into his business. So I'm just saying, you don't need to spend your hard-earned cash on us. We're happy just having you around at the Funplex. Percy, buying Naomi a game would be a kindness, to be sure, but don't feel you have to do it. I know a lot of folks in the gaming industry see someone like you as a whale they can milk for every dollar, but you should keep your money. We're doing fine. It's only dosh, love.